Incoming transmission.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's the 10th of October, and I've got a bit of a classic footy game for you. Can you guess what it is? Well, it had to be really, didn't it? Sensible Soccer from Sensible Software, as you can see there. So, I'm going to let this music play when it comes up, because it's quite a catchy theme tune. Here's your lovely title screen, and here comes a rather classic soundtrack. I'm not going to go through all, but here we go. Alright, so let's get stuck into it. Here we go. We got the languages there. Options, edit teams, load save, highlights, friendly, cup, league and specials. So we're going to take a team, we're going to edit it. Because this is part of the fun for me, I think, with this game, is that you can edit all the teams, you can edit them whichever way you want. You don't have to have them. So let's take Albania away. Sorry if any Albanians are watching. And we're going to go with film stars. Yes, I think so. So let's try and think now of who should their coach be. Well, I think it should be none other than this gentleman. Yes, Mr. T. Of course, it's got to be, hasn't it? Alright, so I'm going to try and figure out some film stars now. And I don't know if you noticed though, but you can edit pretty much everything in this game. You can edit the players, the way they look. You can edit the kits, which is great. And you can edit all the names, which is fantastic. I seem to remember back in the Amiga days when, because I'm not a massive footy fan, I have to admit from the start off. I never really got into football games. John Barnes was probably one of the base games I played, and Manchester United I think was another one which I played, which was all right. But this game came along and completely changed my perception of footy games, because this was a great game that you could just have a couple of mates round. Have a couple of matches with them, and you just have great fun. And that to me is what gaming is all about, is having fun with your mates. And this game does a fantastic job of it. Now, as you can see, I'm going to put Eric Roberts in here because I've just been watching Best of the Best. If you don't remember that movie, oh, I'm keeping it retro, folks. Yeah, we'll have Bruce Lee in there as well. So yeah, the Sensible Soccer franchise went really big. I mean, it went I think there was a version 1.1, then there was Sensible World of Soccer as well, which we'll have to cover those at another point. But this was the original game. This is Sensible Soccer, no version 1 or whatever. This is the original game, and this game is just so much fun. Even if you're not a football fan, John Cena in there, Steve Guttenberg. If you're not a football fan, it doesn't matter, because this game just takes away any of the sort of complexity that you'd find in today's games like FIFA and what's the other one? There's two, isn't there? There's FIFA and I can't remember the other one. But anyway, today's modern games where it's all about realism and tactics and all that stuff and field play and whatever, that just goes out the window here. You just go there and you just basically knock the ball from one end of the pitch to the other and try and score goals. I mean, you had one button. These days it's what, you've got a 10-button pad and all the buttons do something, your footballers. Well, this keeps it simple, and that I like the simplicity of this. We're going to get into the game very shortly, by the way. I've only got 3 more of these guys to make. Sorry about this, it's a bit boring. I should have thought about this really, and maybe done this before I started the review, so I do apologise. I don't know if I think it's 1L, but I'm going to put 2 just in case. So if I have spelt Steven Seagal's name wrong, I'm sorry. Anyway, John Belushi, yep, we'll have you in there, Blues Brother, and Oh, well, we'll have James Belushi as well. Anyway, so you can see now I'm going to move over to the kits in a second, and I'm going to have a play around with those. I'll probably leave it as it is, to be fair, but you can see here you can change. There you go, got a striped t-shirt there, and you can change the kit colours, you can change the way, the style of them. You've got your home kit and your away kit, as you would with a proper football match, I suppose. But I don't want to be arsing about with this too much. I want to actually crack on with the game so you guys can see. Now, you can see all the player names down there, but you won't actually see them in game unless they score a goal or get sent off or whatever. You don't actually see that section of the game. Which I think, if I remember rightly, I think you could edit the teams in John Barnes soccer as well. But I think you could actually see their names above their heads, so that was quite amusing. But this keeps it to a sort of minimum realism, so this is quite nice. So we're going to have a friendly match, and you can see here you can change the pitch types, so you've got lots of options there. I think you can randomise it as well. So anyway, so we'll pick our film stars there, and then we'll pick England. I think we'll go against. Okay, so click OK and play match. Yes, I have actually done it as two computers, I think. I'm going to have to check now whether I play this. Let's go. Here we go. Look at the little guys. Aren't they fantastic? And I'll tell you something else as well, which I really like, is the sound quality. You've got the crowd going nuts in the background. You've got like the... I can't remember what they're called now. Those... They've got a strange name. They begin with V. I'm sure you're going to tell me in the comments, guys, but those are very relevant. You can hear those in the background. You can hear the crowd chanting, which was unheard of really in games like this before. You can see the guys all running around there. My guys in the red and England in the white, which is brilliant. And yes, you can see the animations are really nice as well. Everybody's doing something on the pitch. No one's standing still doing nothing, which is great. And it pretty much, you know, goes with football rules. I don't know much about football, like I've said anyway. But this game comes into its own really when you've got a couple of mates around. You can plug in a second joystick and play against each other. I did that actually back in the day with a friend of mine, and we actually loved this game, and we played it for many, many hours. It's one of those games that you really should play. If you're a footy fan, you've definitely got to play sensible soccer at least once in your life. If you don't like football, you've got to play sensible soccer at least once in your life, just so you can say, I played sensible soccer and I either loved it or hated it. If you don't like it, I'm going to be quite surprised, because it is quite good fun. You see my little guys sliding all over the place, and you can set the time limits on these matches as well. I think this one's set to 3 minutes, which is reasonable, and you'll get your half time where you switch sides and all that as well. So neither side has scored so far, although we are trying our best here. And I can't work out whether these guys are being controlled by me or not, because every time I press a button they are doing something, but I don't know. And but at least I can at least review it anyway. Whether I am actually controlling these guys or not, I don't know, but at least I can still give you guys an overhead perspective. Oh, they just scored! My goalkeeper needs to be fired. Actually not sure who my goalie is, but whoever it is, get out. Anyway, you can see the pitch type's nice. You've got you can obviously see the colours of the grass, and it's been mowed in a very, very official way. The players are all unique. If you look at them all, they all do look different. They have different hair colours. They have different skin tones as well. I don't know if you can check. There you go. Check that out. And half time, ladies and gents. Half time. As denoted there by that lovely graphic right there. Film stars 0, England 1. Reminds me of the pools. My granddad used to do the pools. I used to listen to that on the TV, and I hated every moment of it. Couldn't wait for the Pink Panther to come on. Anyway, I digress. So you can see here you got your corners, penalties, all that are included in the game. Your goalkeepers are pretty good for AI, to be fair. I remember that was the one problem with John Barnes and Manchester United. I think it was way too easy to score, so you could basically just run down the pitch with the ball. And this is the other thing, the ball isn't glued to your feet. Now, in earlier games like John Barnes and Manchester United, the ball was continually glued to your player's foot. Unless you got tackled and the ball got taken off you, you actually had the ball right on your foot. So it was really easy just to sort of get out of the way of the other players coming towards you, and run down the pitch and score. Now the other thing about this as well is more overhead, this one, whereas John Barnes and Manchester United, it was more sort of sideways on, if that makes sense. It was like trying to be 3D but not succeeding very well. Again, that was I mean, they were good games in their own rights. I think the games I don't really like are the management games. I know there's a lot of you out there that probably love the Football Manager type games, but it's never been something I've particularly enjoyed. I prefer to have a hands-on experience like this and actually have, you know, a kick around. I know there's a couple of mates of mine who really like the Football Manager games, but I think these are more fun. I think a Football Manager game is more one that you play on your own, whereas this one would be more suitable for getting a couple of mates round, getting an adapter. I think you can play 4 players on this, I'm not 100% sure, but having a couple of mates round, a couple of beers, good game of sensible soccer, you can't really beat it. It's good fun. It's good fun. But like I said, it's the simplicity of it that's great. Like I said before, the complexity of the modern day football game is just ridiculous. But you know, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that remember Sensi Soccer and have very fond memories of it. I certainly do, and it's been an absolute pleasure to come back and play this again and actually give it to you guys. For those of you who hadn't seen it before, maybe heard of it, it is a bit of a legend. But anyway, I am going to leave that review there, guys. I'll be back very soon with a brand new review for you. And big shout out to everyone watching, and thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon. Take care for now, guys. Bye bye.